Okay, so since, here we are, we're trying to get at impact, right? This idea of impact investing. And I've read that this is on your website, rarely ask for impact measurements per se in the way that we might normally think of them, but you look for impact management as a measure of success. So is this a gut feeling, or how do you understand what the impact management of a given project or investment is?
So just to clarify between those terms, right? So
Okay.
Impact measurement can sometimes feel like impact in the rearview mirror, that you get to the end of the year, and in the same way you say, okay, we produced X number of widgets and we helped X number of women in the process. And next year we'll come back and let you know how many we helped, right? And it may be more than last year, it might be less, who knows? We don't have any really specific goal, but we promise to tell you what we did. I don't find that very satisfying. And the impact management is more saying, particularly as an investor, I think about it a lot in terms of, I don't want to just take credit for someone else's work. That it's very easy to put money into something and then be like, look, we built 1,000 wells. And it's like, no, you didn't, right? Like that enterprise did, and your capital was like one building block within that. And you could try to do some technical calculation of like what percentage of the capital came from you, et cetera, et cetera. But I think what's more important is, how did you incrementally help that entrepreneur succeed, right? Or that fund manager or whatnot. And what are the ways that you were able to support their practices, their needs in terms of impact? And then also, were there specific goals in terms of what they were trying to do better? And I think about that a lot when I see responsible companies that do great CSR, right? When they might say, here's 5 different areas where we could have impact. And each year we're going to try to push the bar a little bit on everything, but that we have concrete goals and we're able to say where we're falling behind, right? And then really investigate the reasons why. So I think in that same way, if you think about financial management, you get to the end of the year, you're going to have a clear projection of here's what we think is going to happen during the year. There's going to be a quarterly meeting to see how we're doing. We're going to make adjustments. We're going to see like, where are we failing? Do we need to put more into this initiative? Do we need to put more money here? The same thing should go for impact management, right? That you need to treat the management of your impact just as actively as you do your financial management. So that's what we tend to think about in the same way as investors, right? That you're often checking in with companies. How are they doing on raising their next round of capital? Or are there certain sales relationships that they need? And that your job as an investor is to try to hustle and like get them often the connections that they're looking for. And in that same way, when a company comes to me and says, I'm interested in this ESOP thing, but I also heard about perpetual purpose trust, and I don't really know, like if I want more employee ownership, what's the most effective way to do that? Who can I talk to? Can you connect me with them, right? Or I'm trying to do more sustainable sourcing on a certain part of my supply chain. Who do we know who can deliver that? And that's where in my annual reporting to my investors, where I'm letting them know, not just here's the number of widgets, right? But what did I do as an investor to enhance the number of widgets? That's what I mean by management.